Hello my scrappy friends, and a big welcome to my YouTube channel today. Today's share is for Cut to You. I showed you the cut file that I'm using right at the beginning there. It is the Hey Bestie cut file and the page that I created. This is quite a heavy mixed media layout and stamping and all the fun things. So what I showed you to start with was this Altenew stamp set. It is called Classic Beauty, I believe, and I have used some Pink Fresh Studio inks to create my roses here. I'm using these. So the pink colours that I'm using are, let me just find them. Pink Fresh Studio Inks Fairy Dust. So for the pinks, it's the Fairy Dust, the 4 little colours in that. And the green aqua is Island Oasis. So I kept in the process of stamping one whole flower here for you. I'm using my Tim Holtz stamp platform thingamajig, and you can see that I have started with the lightest colour. I've done 2 impressions of each layer, and I'm going to go ahead, and I think I end up doing 8 of them, and all of these leaves, so you can see them all finished there. I'm going to pop them aside. You'll when you do create these flowers, if you haven't already used any of these kinds of layering stamps, the colours do kind of dry down, and they don't blend together, but they kind of look less like one layer on top of another, if that makes any sense. It looks like the shadows and the highlights and all that kind of stuff, which is really cool. The paper that I'm working on today is new to me. It is, I believe, from Uniquely Creative, and it is the watercolour paper. It's really heavyweight. I have not done anything to this paper except add stuff. So there's no gesso on here. I have not prepared this background paper with anything. I'm using some smooth modelling paste, and you can see I'm just smooshing it through this stencil in 2 kind of rows across the center of the page. I've turned the page so that I'm kind of flicking towards myself. I find it easier to get more of that uneven edge that you can see there. So that's all my modeling paste done, and it is dry. I've got these 2 photos that I'm using of myself and my bestie, and you will see that that changes. And I had this idea that I wanted to add black to my background. Mine and my bestie's favourite colour is pink, so I wanted to use lots of pink in this, and I was going to do a pink background, but then I decided that with the pink pattern papers that I'd chosen, I would be better off doing a black background. Now you can see here I have I spritzed some water on there, and then I used some Colour Blast B Arty Artist ink in black, and you can see as it's kind of spread out and been diluted, it's gone quite purple. This part of the video is quite sped up because I was really unhappy with how this was looking. I thought, okay, right, I'm going to go to black. I did try a grey spray, which also didn't work, and so now I have pulled out my Gansai Tambi watercolours, and I am using black here. I've got this really big fat mop brush which holds a ton of water, which really gets this colour moving, which is awesome and perfect for what I want. So you can see I'm literally dumping colour on, adding water, and I am just letting that colour move and blend. Now, because this is watercolour paper, it moves beautifully. It sits on top of the paper before it sinks in. You can see here I've got a few harsh edges. I went and got some clean water. I'm using a different paintbrush here, and I'm just adding some fresh water along the edges here, trying to soften them up a little bit. And it does work a little bit, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks. The reason that I'm getting away with so much of it and adding that water, and then you can see here just smooshing it off, is because it is that watercolour paper. I actually really enjoyed working with this. I may have just ordered myself some more as well tonight. So I perhaps there might be a new white. We'll see. I haven't yet compared it to white cardstock, but it looks fairly white to me, though, yeah, time will tell. So you can see I'm just continuing to add my black here, adding water, moving the page, and in the end, I'm really, really happy with the result. You cannot see the purple, which makes me happy. Now, I'm using the classic Heidi Bundle once again today. I had this idea of a way to back my cut file, just as something a little bit different. It's not all that different to backing it with pen and paper though. But so you saw that I'd cut, I think you've seen that I've cut my cut file in pen paper, and it is a beautiful pink. It's darker on like the bottom third of the page or the top, and lighter pink on the other 2/3. And where the letters have cut, it just looks really, like even the letters look really pretty. So there is another layout coming with this same title, different photo, the layout looks completely different. But once I finished recording this, I jumped in and created another page with my what was going to be rubbish leftovers, right? So I'm really happy with both of these pages, and I love that using the same cut file, it looks so different. So these have all dried down beautifully. The colors, like, I just love how these look. I'm using this little diamond press that I got from Spotlight on clearance a couple of years ago. It's really, really handy for little things like this. I didn't mind die cutting all of these one at a time. It worked fine. Just showing you that there. And I'm using the purple tape to hold it in place as it goes through, because my little folder thingy that goes in there is not very flat. This is it's an offcut of white cardstock that I am using to back my cut file here. I've used the black and white washi tape that came in the classic Heidi Bundle, and layered that up on the other side of this cardstock, and you can see I've just traced it, and I'm going to back my cut file using this super, I really love how it looks. I'm super impressed. So this is part of the reason why I decided to go with the black in the background. So I've got the black and white on behind my cut file. I've got the pink on my cut file. I've picked out pattern papers to go behind my photo, and also the layers that I'm going to add onto the page. And so I thought the black would just make everything pop. Like I said, pink is our favorite color, so of course I was going to use it. And one of my all-time favorite color combinations is pink and black and white. It's what I used for my wedding as well. So I was just like, yep, I'll run with that. And like I said, I really love how this page came together. I am going to divert just for a second. The cut to you is, I've already shared my first layout for July, and it was a scrap lift of the boss lady Gwen. We are celebrating Cut to You's 3rd birthday this month. So make sure you do head over to the blog, to the HQ group on Facebook. Follow Gwen everywhere. Follow all the design team. We've got lots of fun things happening this month. And the other reason I chose to scrap this photo is July is also my birthday month, and it is also my bestie's birthday month as well. So I just thought, you know, it just works all round. All right, like I said, I was using the classic Heidi Bundle for this, and I thought, you know what, I might dig into my older Heidi stash. So that grey pen paper, I believe, is from September Skies from the paper pad, and then this pink plaid is from the classic Heidi Bundle, and I am just layering that so that it is not super obvious that it is a plaid print, and just torn those edges, and I really like how that pops behind there. You can see I'm trying to get these 2 photos on. This is the idea I had in my head. I was like, right, I don't know that I love that. I'm going to work on something that I know that is not going to change. So I'm going to add this grey pattern paper. I am only adding glue to the center strip for now, and I am using the lines on the pattern paper, that very geometric design, to line up my ruler to get it straight. I'm going to glue down the edges, and then I'm going to tuck in behind those, there you go, that pink pattern paper, and there it is, my background all done. I'm really, really happy with how that looks. I'm going to add a couple of layers behind my photo, starting with this light pink. This is the pattern paper that I cut the cut file from. So you can see there how it's got the two different colour pinks. I've pulled in this pink from my scraps box. This is a pink paisley pattern paper. And I'm going to distress the edges. Now, I recorded this on the old phone, and if you've been following me, you know I've had a few issues with videos not recording or running out of space, all kinds of drama. So this does abruptly cut off, but you don't really miss much. So I'm going to layer up my photo here, and then I'm going to get into the embellishing. I am going to use the, so I've used the Big Mama tape from Spiegelmum Scraps to lift up my cut file. It is the perfect width. Yeah, the perfect width to fit behind each of those letters. I was so excited when I didn't have to cut tiny little thin strips. And then I'm using the Big Mama 2 foam tape to mount my photo on, because I want that to sit on top of my cut file. And it's just enough difference that it sits beautifully on top. I've said it before, you need something that you can get underneath that tape to release the tape. So here is the Big Mama 2 foam tape. It is just a tiny bit higher, which is perfect. So what you miss is me tucking in all of my flowers. I did come up with a layout design kind of roughly, and I took a photo, so that's what I was using for reference. Just quickly, on the right hand side you can see that I've got those little tabs behind where my foam tape is. I didn't want to stick that down completely because I knew I was tucking flowers under there, and there was no way I was going to be able to lift that foam tape after it stuck. So I've stuck the top half of the photo, but the bottom half is not stuck yet, so I can get my flowers in there and get the glue in behind. So I'm going to layer up these flowers so they are pleasing to my eye. And like I said, I really love the way this layout turned out. I didn't use all my flowers or my leaves, so I got a few leftovers, and there we go. I have also used it's a July release from Spiegelmum Scraps, and I've scattered the carnation bouquet sequins around my, on that diagonal from the top left to the bottom right, added a couple of stickers, and I love how this page came out. I seriously, seriously love it. Make sure you follow everyone on Cut2You, make sure you're following Cut2You. As always, thank you ever so much for stopping by. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you have a fantastic scrappy day.